Alright, here we go.
I've been on my way for a long, long time. You've been on your way. You've been on your way for all your life.
Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
Captain Qappz. Welcome
Yes.
to Flight Simulator
Thank you,
Cyprus.
thank
I'll
you.
take you through
Yes.
our departure lounge. Just take a seat.
Thank you.
The instructor will be out with you shortly.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Captain Qappz.
Hi.
Sunil. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good to meet you.
You too.
You're going to be flying this Boeing 737 today.
Oh.
So it's the 737-800 NG, and you are the captain on the left-hand side up there, okay?
It'll be fun.
And I'm going to be your instructor sitting on the right-hand side.
Let's go.
So I'll give you a quick briefing
Yes.
on what we're doing,
Uh-huh.
show you where we are and the plan for today's flight. So we're at Larnaca Airport today, and this is the terminal, apron 1, and we are at runway 22 at this end.
Yeah.
So you see the little pink thing there?
Yeah.
That's our aircraft.
So we'll be
position.
flying from Larnaca, Cyprus.
Correct. So
Okay.
Larnaca, Cyprus, we're going to take off on runway 22, which is heading southwest.
Okay.
And we're basically going to head up towards the Troodos Mountains.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we'll see. It's all flying live weather, by the way. So
Yeah.
whenever the winds and the clouds are right now
Okay.
in Cyprus, in
Oh, that's
Troodos,
really
that's what
cool.
we're going to see. And then we'll head off maybe towards Kyrenia range, over Nicosia, and then come back and we'll land again at runway 22.
Okay, that sounds fun.
And
Let's
we'll
go.
finish off at the terminal.
Yeah,
Okay, you ready for your flight, Captain?
for sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're at runway 22, as I said. That's just the view out on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And if you look at our in-flight entertainment, you can see where we are right now. So we're heading southwest, runway 22. We're going to take off, do a right-hand turn towards the Troodos Mountains, and then we'll do another right-hand turn towards Nicosia. And again, it's a right-hand circuit, and then we come back in and we land at the same runway at Larnaca.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
Shall we go into the cockpit?
Let's do it.
Okay. So just watch your head as you go through,
Yes.
and get yourself in there.
Go.
Just adjust your seat, drop it down a tad. Okay.
So I'm short now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. You've got to be my height. So right in the distance, you can see Terminal 1, which is where we came from.
Yeah.
And you can't see it yet, but Troodos Mountains is in the distance that way.
Okay.
So if I put on the terrain through here, we will hopefully see. You see all the mountains on this side here?
Yeah.
So this is the aircraft position, the little triangle.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and we're taking off straight ahead. And we'll do a right-hand turn towards these mountains here, which
Okay.
is the Troodos. So I'll give you a very quick intro of everything. This is the overhead panel. I'm not going to spend too much time on this right now because it's
Yeah.
all been set up already.
Okay,
Everything's
okay.
running.
Yeah.
Now, this is the autopilot. So today we'll head up to about 5,000 feet.
Okay.
If we need to climb higher to avoid the mountains, we can do that.
Yeah.
But I've currently set our cruise altitude at 5,000. The runway heading needs to be actually 220, so we'll change that round. So that is heading southwest, as we said. And our takeoff speed is going to be 147 knots.
Okay.
Okay. Now I think you're familiar with these instruments more or less, aren't you? So in
Yeah.
front of you is the
Yeah,
PFD,
exactly.
airspeed on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
altitude on the right side, and then this is the navigation display, which I've shown you already. And these are our engine instruments. So we've got engine, left engine, right engine.
Okay.
Now we've got flaps 5 at the moment,
Yep.
and that's the flap gauge that shows you 5 flaps. Parking brake is on, which we'll release that shortly.
Yep.
Throttle levers, engine 1, engine 2, left, right, and of course you know the flight controls.
Yes.
And with your legs, it's on the rudder pedals.
Yep.
So if you take your feet a little bit higher up, and if a little bit more, yeah, it's going to sit in the cradle. That's it. Now if you tap your toes forward together, you hear the brakes.
Okay.
And you've just released the parking brake by
Yeah.
pushing the brakes, okay? Now if you keep your toes up and you press with the left heel, that's your left rudder and your right rudder.
Oh,
Okay. So
Yeah.
when we're rolling on the runway, it's going to be all with the legs, okay? Left and right with the
Yeah,
legs.
yeah, yeah.
Okay? But
Okay.
no brakes, otherwise you're not going anywhere.
Oh.
So your toes must be up towards your knees,
Yeah.
and it's just with the heels.
Okay,
Left
so
and right.
when we do this is the brakes?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's only when we land at,
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
very end. And even when we land, we have an auto brake.
Yeah.
So we're going to not need the brake till the very end of the runway.
Okay,
When we switch
yeah.
off the auto brake. As we approach the takeoff speed, I'm going to call out V1 rotate. Okay, V1 is our decision speed. So by V1, we must be committed to take off,
Okay.
even if we have an engine failure.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I say V1 rotate, with both your hands, you're going to pull back nice and slowly to about here. Then you'll be looking at your PFD as you take off, and the little square is the nose of the aeroplane.
Yeah.
And that's going to climb up to about 15 degrees.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to let that, which is that line there, 2 lines
Yeah.
above the 10-degree line.
Okay.
Okay, and as you get to 15 degrees, you can then just let go of that a little bit, and you're going to maintain about 15 degrees.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
you ready for takeoff, Captain?
Let's do it.
So we'll just let the cabin crew know that we're heading off. So the other way around.
Hello?
Yeah, the other way around.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, we go.
So for now, just say cabin crew cease for takeoff.
Captain crew, cease for takeoff.
Cabin crew.
Oh, sorry. Cabin crew, cease for takeoff.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. We're about to go up now. Where's the button?
Just press that one there.
This one.
So Captain,
Alright.
right hand over here, and pushing forward nice and slowly, watching over here till you get to the number 4, 40% thrust, and we wait for the engines to stabilize.
That's
The
it.
engines are stable, so tap the little button down here. Yeah, and that should set. Okay, that should set takeoff thrust. There you go. Okay, so eyes up and all with the legs now. A little bit to the right. So the center line should feel like it's going down your right leg, okay? And then you'll know you're in the center. Okay, ready? V1, rotate. Keep pulling a bit more. There you are. And now you're going to look down. Okay, legs off the pedals now. Yeah. And now you're going to look down and keep that square on the 2 pink lines. You see the 2 pink lines there?
Yep.
They're the flight directors. So wherever the lines go, you've got to follow that. So if the line is below you, you've got to push that square the other way. So push the square down onto that line there. So I'm just going to take the landing gear up.
Yep.
So you do have to make quite large movements on the
Yeah,
control
I've
column.
noticed.
It's not like the small airplane. The small one, it's a very small amount of movement.
Yeah.
Now what the spinning wheel is, it's a button on the left hand side.
Yeah.
It's called the trim. Okay. And basically, instead of having to pull up so much, you can pull the button down a little bit. So pull that button down just a second and release. Release. And that trims it. So it allows you to take the pressure off the flight control a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like calibrating the position.
Okay.
Okay, the speed is also coming in nicely. I'm just going to go to flaps up. That's the flaps up speed.
Yeah.
And we'll speed up to about maybe 210 knots. And you can see the target speed there as well. There's the altitude coming in, there's the speed coming in. That line is going down now. So you're going to push it down to capture the altitude. Keep going till it's there. And just before you reach the line, let go. So you have to be one step ahead of the aeroplane.
Okay.
Rather than waiting to go through the line, you have to be slightly predictive.
Yeah.
So there's the Trellis Mountains. We can sort of fly a little bit by eye. So I'm going to turn the heading bar. You can see this here, I'm turning it to the right, and that's taking us over that peak.
Okay.
And that's going to make that line move, so you follow it through. And I'll just do the after takeoff checklist in the meantime. So we'll do that now. After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds are on, Qappz, auto, landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist is complete, Captain. You happy to let the passengers go?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take these off, that's for the cabin crew, and we'll take the seatbelts off for the passengers as well.
I got you guys.
You're doing really well actually, so that's brilliant. So we've got to keep an eye on the terrain. Okay,
Yep.
so you can see the little yellowy bits over there, yellow and red.
That's high.
That's at our altitude, so you can see it there. You can see the mountain straight ahead of us.
Uh-huh.
So as we get closer, we've either got to climb or we've got to avoid them. And we're going to do a right-hand circuit anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll get a bit closer and then we'll do a right-hand turn. We can probably speed up to about 240 knots, so we'll take it up there. As I speed up the aeroplane, so that's doing it automatically with the throttle. But what's going to happen is you'll have to adjust the pitch of the aeroplane. That's it, nice and small movements, perfect. So if I zoom out on your screen here, you can actually see the airport there, okay? So that's the runway, we're going to do a right-hand turn, come back around.
Nicosia, right?
Yeah, so Nicosia is just on the right-hand side. That whole city there is Nicosia.
Yeah.
So you can see the mountains just there on your left-hand side, quite close. So do you want to engage the autopilot and then we do a bit of a briefing for the arrival?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so if you hit Command A, that side, yeah, press that, and it shows Command on your screen here, that's when you know it's autopilot, okay?
Yeah.
So now you can take your hands off and the airplane's going to fly itself. So basically the autopilot is flying the information we've given it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that speed, that altitude, that heading, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to maintain all of that.
It's a bit more accurate than me. A
little bit
bit.
more
A little bit.
So what we need to do is we've got to do some work on this computer here. So if we hit the initial reference button for us, now we're going to land the 30 degrees flap, so that's just the standard flap setting over here, okay?
Yep.
So if you select 30 degrees here, press that button, and it goes into there, okay? So that's now showing up on your screen here as well. It shows 30, 141, okay? So 141 is our landing speed, okay? Now we've got a wind correction of 5 knots, so we're going to have an approach speed of 146 on the final, okay? And basically when you flare and you idle the throttles in those last few seconds, you can lose about 5 knots of speed. So we should land at about 141 knots if we get it right. For Larnaca Airport, I recommend an auto brake of 1. So if you want to set 1 for us, and that it's a fairly long runway, so it'll bring us in close to the terminal, so we can just slip off and head straight towards the gate.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking from the flight deck. As you may have noticed, we have just commenced our descent into Larnaca Airport, and we'll be switching the seat belt sign on very shortly. We expect to land 12:30 as scheduled local time, and if you want to adjust your watch, it's 12:18 right now in Larnaca. The weather is sunny, clear skies, and the temperature is 35 degrees Celsius. It's pretty hot, so yeah, just so you know, it's gonna be really hot when we get out. It really is hot.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent. So you want to put on the seatbelt signs then?
Let's do it.
That one all the way down, that one?
This one?
This one, not this one here. Push that down. Okay. And the no smoking sign, put that in the middle position, the auto position.
This one?
Yep. Okay, beautiful. So that one's later on.
Yeah.
So the no smoking doesn't change the light. The light's always on, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But that's just our way of communicating with the flight attendants.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a language.
So we know.
So every airline has its own little secret language. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we'll keep the autopilot on for a little bit longer, and then we can take it off. So turn it right and aim for about kind of maybe there. And you can go. Yeah, you can go. The plane will go at a specific speed. Anyway.
To the green circle?
Yeah, to about the green circle. Go a little bit past the green circle.
Yeah.
Why don't we slow down again? So flap 5. There's a little notch, so you're going to take it down and then up.
Oh.
And flap 5. Match the speed again for us.
This one?
Yep. And we should also be dropping down. So take it to 1,500 feet. Now 1,500. Okay, and hit the level change one more time. Okay. So we are descending and decelerating at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you're ready, Captain, I would go manual. So to do that, you're going to press the little button on your left side.
Yes.
Press it once, and that switches off the autopilot. Now press it one more time, and that switches off the alarm. And now you're just going to track those lines, and we'll put on the approach so we can grab those things. I'm going to give you a slightly more right turn.
Yeah.
It'll give us a shallower angle in to grab the instrument landing system. So the airport is basically just out in the distance there. You see the Larnaca Bay, and it's on the other side of the bay, okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to be going right over the bay in a standard pattern and coming in straight to runway 22. Okay. There you go, you're leveling off, perfect. I'll just give you a bit of trim to help you there.
Usually pilots do auto like landing, right?
Not auto landing so much all the way. Okay, here comes the light, so we follow that through. They will keep the autopilot on till, it depends on the airline, might be 300, 400, or 500 feet or a certain distance away from the runway. So it's usually seconds. They fly manually for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So as you level off, you're going to push that nose down a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, that diamond is now tracking down. You can see that line slope coming down slowly. So as it comes down to the middle, when it comes down to the middle rather, that horizontal pink line is going to go down a little bit. Okay, you're going to start your final descent.
Yeah.
So it really is time for the gear. We'll take the landing gear down.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a bit easier from the side usually. Flap 15, and we'll slow down the aeroplane further. We'll put our lights on. Okay, so we'll go up to full flaps, flaps 30, and we're going to slow down further. On the speed brake.
Cabin crew, cease for landing.
Thank you. And I'll do the landing checklist. So engine start switch is continuous, speed brake armed, green light, landing gear down, 3 greens, flaps required 30, set 30, green light. Landing checklist is complete, Captain.
The check, yeah.
So everything is going to be manual in a second. I'm going to take off the throttle as well. So every few seconds look up, make sure you see the runway.
Yep.
You should see 2 red lights and 2 white lights to the left of the runway.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that right now, which means we're on the perfect angle, okay?
Yep.
If you get too many reds, that means we're too low. If you get too many whites, we're too high. Now in the last few hundred feet, about now, don't worry too much about the lines,
Yep.
okay? We're just going to keep this thing at about 2 degree pitch, so just push down a little bit more. Just going to give you a little bit of a hand here.
Yep.
Keep your legs ready on the pedals. Remember, once we land, it's all with the legs.
Yep.
Okay. So just don't follow the lines now. Just keep it on that little white line, 2 degrees. Look out the window, make sure it looks okay. At 50 feet, we're going to pull up slightly.
Yep.
And at 20 feet, we're going to take the throttles down. So push down a little bit more, just a bit more. That's good. 50 feet, so pulling up just a bit. Right hand here, take the throttles down.
Now.
Yeah, now. And keep it, don't pull up too much, don't pull up. Let your nose go down. Okay, let your nose go down a bit more. There. Okay, now wait, grab this reverse here, wait for it to release.
Yeah.
And when it releases, pull up. Now, there you go.
And do we brake now?
Yeah, because the auto brake has been disengaged, so you don't need this anymore, it's all with the legs.
Yeah,
Okay?
it is, yeah.
So, pressing the brakes. 16 knots, take off the reverse thrust. And with your right rudder, with your right leg, we're just going to go off there. Don't press the brakes too much now.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose all our speed.
Yeah.
And with the legs, we're just going to guide ourselves off the runway there. Very good, Captain.
Thank you.
In front of us, you can see a few airplanes. They're all live, by the way. So those airplanes are at Larnaca Airport right now. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's streaming live.
That's
So we
crazy.
can see them, they can't see us. So the speed brake can be taken down. The flaps can be taken all the way up. So there's a notch, you have to go through that notch and then up to that notch and there.
Oh, this here.
Okay,
Yeah.
auto brake can go off into the middle position.
Off.
Off, yeah. Now, on your left hand side, there's a steering wheel. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just like a car.
Oh.
But go slow, hang on slow, very slowly. So it's extremely sensitive.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be going at this speed. Look at my hand. That kind of speed. Okay. Not that.
Yeah,
Otherwise
yeah,
you're gonna all the passengers are gonna
Yeah.
fall off. So they start again. Just go really slowly. I'll just help you with the throttle here for a second. You're looking at the ground speed here.
Yeah, it's 0.
Okay, so that's 0. We want no more than 10 knots.
Okay.
So hand on the steering. You're gonna follow that yellow line. And just play with it a little bit and just get a feeling for the sensitivity. It's extremely sensitive.
Yeah, it is.
It's a bit delayed, but it's also sensitive, so you have to get a bit of a handle on
Yeah.
that. So we want to stay at about 10 knots. We'll let that aeroplane pass us, and then we'll follow the yellow line.
So
to
you
the
don't use the
right-hand
rudders
side.
at all?
Not at this speed, no.
No,
You
so
need much
it's-
more speed to catch
Yeah.
the air for that. So we're going to do to the left and right, but we have to wait for that aeroplane to pass. So we'll just keep the speed, and we should be okay. That's it. So nice and slow and smooth with that control. And the wheel is actually behind us, the nose wheel of the aeroplane. So you go a little bit over the line,
Yeah, you're right.
and then you turn.
Yeah.
Okay, we're far enough away. We'll be alright. So there's the aeroplane.
Straight, yeah?
Yeah, straight down there, and we'll go into one of those gates on the left hand side. So the speed is 10 knots. We're going to take the throttles down, and we're going to slow down a little bit further. And you see that yellow line coming down. As you go that yellow line, the solid one, you're going to follow it all the way around into that gate on the left hand side. So when you're ready, Captain, press the brakes for us and pull out the park brakes, and then take your legs off the pedals. There you go. So the brakes are set. Now we've got to start the APU. I should have done that earlier. I forgot to do that. So press the APU down onto the start position. That's the little engine in the tail of the aeroplane. Okay. So before we switch off the engines, we need power.
Yeah.
We need power either from the ground or our own engine in
Yeah.
the tail. So what we can do in the meantime is we can actually request power from here. So we've got ground power. So if you take that button there, hit it to on and release. Okay, that should release. There you go. So now we're on ground power. So take engine, grab the engine 1 like that, put it out and slide it down. Okay, and that's engine 1 going. When we're down to 20%, you can take off engine 2 as well. So just watch that fan speed.
So we're just shutting off the engines.
We're just shutting off the engines now, yeah. So 20% there, engine 2 comes off. Now keep your eye on there, keep your finger ready on the seatbelt sign. When we're 20%, you can take off the seatbelt sign. Of course, the passenger's already up and grabbing their bags.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what we can do in the meantime, we don't need that APU that we started now because we have ground power. So
Yeah.
you can take off the APU. And you can take off all our lights through here. So 2,
Here.
2, 2, 1.
This one?
Yep, and 1. That's it. Engine start switches can go into the off position. No smoking sign can go up. The middle 2 hydraulic pumps can be taken up. Okay, the probe heats, they go up. Okay, through here we just open the valve. The anti-collision light comes off. And that strobe light goes in the middle. The off position is the middle position for that one. And the transponder here goes all the way to the left on standby. So then they don't see us on their radar.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Well done, Captain.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good flight.
Thank you. When I've flown from events in the US and from Sweden back to Cyprus, I've done this multiple times. So it's really cool flying and then landing on the same airport and like seeing all of this. So like next time I'm flying back to Cyprus from like an event in the US, I'll remember all of this, like how cool it was, and you know, the landing and the situations and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, you'll be quite familiar with when you hear the gear coming down, when the flaps coming down. You sort of know,
Exactly.
having done it, you know what's going on in the cockpit, don't you?
Yeah. Usually when we're landing, I always in my head I'm like 50, 40, 30.
That's right.
It's really fun.
Well, you were amazing. You were really good. So
Thank
all that video game playing that you've been doing, and the X-Plane experience obviously is paying off.
Exactly,
So well done. That was really good flying.
Thank
Actually,
you. Appreciate
the
it.
first time. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So this is the little circuit we did, guys. We took off runway 22. We turned right into the Troodos. Quite a sharp turn over kind of the south part of Nicosia, and then we did the final turn, and we were at 3,000 feet. No, sorry, we were at 5,000 feet through here, if I remember. And then we came down to 3,000, down to 1,500, and then the final turn into Larnaca Airport. So welcome back to Larnaca.
Thank you.
And there you are at the gate.
Yeah.